the Carpe's corner, so happy that you're here. So take a seat, have a tea, or grab yourself a beer. Here at Carpe's corner, we'll learn about our lives, and in between, you might decide to exercise your rights. It's Carpe's corner, Carpe's corner. Welcome to Carpe's corner. Don't forget reviews. Comment, like, and subscribe is all you gotta do. Here at Carpe's corner, please appreciate our guests, and just remember everyone's got something on their chest. In Carpe's corner, Carpe's corner. In Carpe's corner, there'll be no borders. It's Carpe's corner. We're so glad that you are here.
Welcome to Carpe's Corner. How are you guys doing? I'm CarpeDonktum, and today my guest is Benny Johnson, and I've got an echo. Of course, I've got an echo. Where's the echo coming from? There it is. There's the echo. Oh man! All right, here we go. Now we got Benny.
All right, what's going on? Hey, Carpe.
Here we go.
How you doing, dude?
I'm doing just fine. If I could get rid of the echo, I'd be doing just fine. And now I think I did.
Oh, good.
But we'll see. I mean, you know, this is live stuff. This is live television on the internet, television, whatever this is.
What I think a lot of people don't understand is that memers regularly hear their own voice in their
Right.
heads.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so we're regularly hearing the echo. Our entire world is memes. The entire world is seen through the veneer, the lens of the meme.
Do you ever just like sit and you're like driving and you're just like, oh, that would be really good, and then like 5 hours later you're like, what did I think of in the car?
Oh,
What was that?
I write them all down. Like, I literally write them down. I write them down. I have
Yeah.
a whole list on my phone. So you don't write them down immediately. You're like at the airport at 6 in the morning. You're just like, oh, you're going through TSA. You're like, oh, it'd be really good if the TSA guy was a Joker, and and then it was Trump, and was Batman and Joker and Batman and TSA, and it's all about coronavirus. And if you don't write it down, you're gonna miss it.
Well, I wouldn't write that one down. That one doesn't sound that funny.
Well, it hasn't been fully fleshed out yet. We're working on it, okay? The echo inside of my head's going a mile a minute.
It's fine. You know what? You actually put out more content than I do. Like, I'm sort of like a snake kind of thing where it's maybe one or two a week, but you've got stuff on like Instagram like every day, all kinds of stuff.
So I fancy myself a meme ambassador.
Right.
So while I have a good idea every once in a while, my show at Turning Point USA is Man on the Street. I speak, I cover news. I don't do exclusively memes. What I do is I support the meme economy by helping buoy the meme economy and making sure that the creators of these memes get seen and get their content seen in my small and weak capacity to do so. You,
small and weak. Yeah.
You, on the other hand, you, on the other hand, have the President of the United States, which, I mean, you can break news here, Carpe. Do you actually run his Twitter account?
Yeah,
because
no.
he tweets your memes so often, I do tend to wonder if he's just handed over.
I mean, so, I'm the humble guy here. So, like, the last time he tweeted something was February, so that was a while ago. It's not like it's all the time.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a lot.
You're talking to your audience here online, who would most likely have a panic attack and an embolism if
that's
the
fair.
president retweeted, if the president even hit like on one of their pieces of content. For a guy like you, it's like, well, it's been February. I mean, it's been months. All right, it's been since China virus.
You're right. Yeah. That was the best thing that ever happened to the left. The coronavirus and then the riots made it basically impossible for Trump to tweet memes.
Well, I think it certainly put a level of seriousness on the country, because nobody quite understood what was going on, and there was absolutely an attempt to control the information and the way that people interacted. And you see that now. I mean, you see that now most especially in the horrific double standard of who can have a rally. That's a great question. So if you read the First Amendment really closely, and you don't even have to read it that closely, but if you read it really closely, it says that you can assemble as long as you're peaceful. Right. There you go. Freedom of assembly.
There's no caveats on it.
Yeah.
There's no as long as there's not a virus, as long as, this, that, the other.
Right. Precisely. And so when you see that it's laid bare when you can have literally hundreds of thousands of people, the amounts that you couldn't even pack into a stadium so large, gathering to protest in the street for leftist causes like defund the police, then it's great. But if Trump has a rally in Tulsa tomorrow, which he will, then it is literally doom and gloom. You just saw that at the press conference like 10 minutes ago with the press conference. Jim Acosta, who I know is one of your favorite meme characters.
He certainly is. He makes a meme just all on his own.
It was hard.
By the way, somebody said, "Who is this?" And then they said Jake. So somebody thinks you're Jake Tapper. So I'm not sure how you should take that. But I would take that as take strong offense to that. Really.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're talking unless it's comic book world, and I'm Bizarro Universe Jake Tapper.
Well, then maybe.
And I'm actually good.
The anti-Tapper.
Yes. Real News Tapper. That would actually be a great name for a show.
That would be
the Real News Tapper.
Real News Tapper. Tapping into that real news.
Yes, that would be a great name for a show. It is amazing though, because America, I think this is a very interesting point that you brought up. America is a happy place. I know this is going to sound strange to people, but the vast majority of Americans are happy and love their God, love their country, enjoy laughing, enjoy ridicule, enjoy humor, satire. And they were robbed of that for many months. It became a very dark place. And that I believe that's by design, because you need things in order to people will get depressed and people will get dark, if the news is perpetually dark, if you don't have your normal release valves like sports or entertainment, the theater, movies, memes. Yeah. If you don't have these things, then people are going to spiral. This is
and the news was only coronavirus. There was no other news. If it wasn't Corona, it was nothing.
Yes,
they skipped out on. I'm sure there were celebrities and things like that died that just nobody even knows. 3 months from now, they'd be like, "Oh, that guy died." It was during Corona, so it didn't matter.
Listen, there's a psychological element to it.
Yeah.
And when you have people that are depressed and downtrodden and beaten down, it's easier to get your way. People lose the will to fight. And memes are one of those things that, SNL, back when they used to be funny and used to care about ridiculing both sides, memes are that. It's the ridicule of the powerful in this country. And you do it the best, and now you have another scalp on the wall with yesterday.
Whose scalp was it? Technically, it was just CNN in general, right?
Yeah, it's fake news. them taking it. Very daring, by the way, may I say, drinking a Mountain Dew against a green screen.
I know. Like, well, I mean, it's just
it's gonna disappear.
just the background's sort of nondescript, so it has to be the right timing for it to really do anything. But you know, why change? You know, I did make a change. Now I'm doing the 0 sugar so that I can not be a giant tire. But you know, so how ridiculous, like on a scale of, you know, 1 to Jim Acosta, how ridiculous was the CNN freak out over the meme?
I mean, do you remember the early days, like in the ancient days of
the long ago time?
Yeah, 2018 when they were doxing. When they were doxing, I can't remember who it was. I didn't know the person, but the guy who made the WWE meme.
Somebody, who was it? I think it was TechCrunch. I think did an article last night, and they said that I was that person. So they're not even trying.
Cool, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
No, he was the inspiration for a lot of us. But
well, that meme flew, and then you realize that the meme wars, which were just so funny, a meme in themselves, right? The meme wars.
Yeah.
You realize that was real. Like,
the first great meme war.
The first time I realized it was real was when CNN went to dox this guy, and then do you remember they were like, he promised to never make memes again.
Yes.
Got him.
Yeah. They all cross their arms and they're like, yeah, now what you gonna do, internet?
Yeah. He's never gonna make a meme again.
And because of that one act, there was like all the greats. You know, I've had this show for this is the 7th episode, and I've barely talked about memes. So you know, we've got soul memes, we've got mad liberals,
yes,
we've got power tie. All 3 of those guys, and plus me, all started because of the wrestling thing, and CNN blackmail was the hashtag. And they had no idea, and they continue to do it. You know, they've learned a little bit, but they haven't learned much. Like, they didn't really come after me to dox me so much, but they did try to like destroy me several occasions.
Yes, I think that anyone who like sticks their neck out and even attempts to do something different, even attempts to tell a real funny story, and most importantly, ridicule. I mean, I can't go back to that enough. They hate being made fun of. They're so super serious. They're such a serious people, and their issues are so serious, so important, right? Like, this is definitely going to be the next 10 years that we're all going to die. Like, everything is so important. Greta Thunberg, like, you can't make fun of her. You can't make fun of their very serious people.
She's super serial, guys. Super serial.
Very serial. Okay, man, bear peg.
How right did South Park get like everything?
Everything. I can't. Everything. I mean, honestly,
if there's anyone that's a time traveler, it's those guys.
Trey Parker, Matt Stone are time travelers for sure. I mean, for sure. PC Bro.
PC. Oh my God. PC Bro was, just.
All of it.
And strong woman.
It's amazing. It's strange to watch because now I'm like, wait a second, what? Like, are all these things going to come true? Because they failed about half of it, and the rest of the half of it is really horrific. And so, like, what is not going to happen?
I'm just waiting for the goobacks to come back from the future and then start taking our jobs.
Yes, that was quite the episode.
Yeah,
that was quite the episode. I mean, it's true though. You live in a post funny world. And memes, if anything, are like an outcry of that world trying to say, like, hey, we still have humor.
Yeah.
It's unwatchable. Late night TV is unwatchable.
Even the bad ones are an outcry. Like there's clearly some really inappropriate memes, especially around like the coronavirus or any of that stuff. There were some really inappropriate ones. But I mean, people just want to laugh at something, even if it's wrong.
Yes. And now especially now, right? Like, coronavirus was one era. Now we've entered this new era of just hyper criticism of our own culture and the things that existed before us, things that were made by creators before us. I mean, this is an existential problem we're going through right now, where we're erasing our past. The art of the past isn't there. It doesn't exist because someone wanted to offend you or hurt you. It exists because it can, not because it
Right.
must. And erasing it is such an insult to the generations that came before us that want us to learn from them.
Yeah,
And
it's an insult to every lesson we've ever learned.
yes, correct. You know, and I'm horrified of it, and I think there's going to be a course correction. There regularly is. I think there's going to be a course correction, but I think we need memes now more than ever.
Well, I hope it's the course correction comes before they've destroyed all the good stuff. Like, I mean,
Right.
destroying George Washington and defacing Lincoln and stuff like that. That just, you know, if you were to tell me just a couple years ago that we would be watching people pulling statues of George Washington down, I would have laughed at you. I mean, I would have thought that was insane.
And Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
And you're right, defacing the Lincoln Memorial here. I'm in Washington, D.C. They defaced the Lincoln Memorial and the
Yeah.
World War II Memorial.
And the Tuskegee Airmen Memorial. Well, I mean, how ironic is that? And none of these people want to learn from history. They just want to repeat it. I mean, like, what is so ironic to me, and maybe it's in a Alanis Morissette kind of ironic way, but the people that are telling us now that we were authoritarians are now the authoritarians.
Yes.
And everything that they
Yes.
like, we talk about projection, and you know, it seems cliche now because we've said it so many times, but the left always projects, but they really, really do. I mean, like,
Yes.
everything they say that they're going, or that we're going to do, it's something they're already on their way to doing. And I don't understand how they can't see it. But then something like yesterday happens, and then I'm like, well, all right, I can see why they can't see it, because they can't even understand a simple video or what the video means. Watching people try to do analysis on that video was probably one of the funniest parts of last night. That little what's his name, Kyle something? He looks sort of like a ferret. He's in there. He's like, "This is a fake video, guys. It's really fake. You can tell by the font. It's not the right font." And you're like, "Oh my god,
yes.
that was it."
Destroyed. Meme culture destroyed forever.
Oh, but the font was what got it. It wasn't the part where it said, "Baby, probably a Trump voter." Like, that wasn't it. It was the font.
These are not serious people, Carpe.
No, they're not.
That's the amazing part, is that they're not serious people. These are people who want full and total cultural control. It's cultural Marxism.
Yeah.
And you know that because of the irony of their behavior. So don't judge them by their words, judge them by their actions. They are coming after us memers and us truth tellers because memes tell truth, memes are art, and memes are a totem in culture that say we're still out there, we can still tell truth. They want to destroy that. You notice it when you're in Washington, D.C., and you have Antifa members defacing the World War II memorial. Now, let's dissect that for a second. The World War II memorial is a memorial to the generation that fought the worst and deadliest form of fascism that we have ever known. Yet they deface the memorial as anti-fascists. Anti-fascists. They call themselves anti-racist. They say they're not racist. Yet they deface the Lincoln Memorial. Today's Juneteenth, the Emancipation Proclamation, signed by the first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln. Like, they deface that memorial. Why? These are not serious people. They want cultural Marxism. They want power and control. Power and control over how we think and over what we can say. And that's all that it is about.
Well, absolutely. And you know, you could just tell that there's so many opportunities or so many examples of just how unserious they are. But like the tweet from CNN proper, like, you know, the CNN communication thing, was talking about how President Trump shouldn't use children or exploit children. This is the same company that just lost a huge lawsuit to the Covington kids.
Yes.
Just, I mean, like, the irony is so deep that I just sit there and I have to sort of stare at it. It sort of freezes me. Like what do I do? It's like if I walk into the other room and then suddenly a train comes out of the wall, you know, like in Looney Tunes, it's just out of nowhere, a train just runs through my living room. I'm just like, did that just happen? Did I just see that happen? Is that what is going on here? And you know, Acosta, I think, is the hallmark or the poster boy for I can't believe what just happened. Do you think that's an act, or do you think it's really just that's just really him?
I believe that what happens is in cultural Marxism, you get left with a false choice, but the choice is always do you want power and control over other people's lives, what they think and how they feel. And the vast majority of people, quite frankly, don't have the will or the ability to fight back. And so when you have such a tyrannical group of people who are just egregiously breaking all of their own rules, today, this very hour, CNN is putting up barriers, walls around their headquarters in Atlanta. Because the last time that there were riots in Atlanta, they went straight for CNN, defaced their building, literally ripped down their doors, and assaulted police officers inside of their headquarters. CNN is putting up a 10-foot barricade outside their headquarters in order to make sure that they can control who's coming in and make sure that they can secure their own country. I'm sorry, their own headquarters, their own corporation.
Right.
And I don't know who paid for it. If Mexico paid for it, then we've come completely full circle. If Mexico paid for that wall, then CNN is Trump. But that's the thing, is that when you repeat a lie over and over and over again, and when you live in this clown world that you talk about so regularly, when you live in this clown world, there is no more truth. And us conservatives are sitting here with empirical truth, hence why the left can't meme. They have no truth. That's rule number one of why the left can't meme. They have absolutely no truth, and you need to have some basis of truth to meme and to be funny, to like make jokes off of. And you know, and so with Jim Acosta and CNN respective, it's about power and control. And the more they can repeat a lie and the more they can just push their agenda, they get at least they think more power and control. I think the rest of us just view them as just complete clown world, which they are.
Well, and so you're talking about the wall there. You spent a little time somewhere recently, and they recently built a wall up in Soyatl.
Antifa Stan, I like
Antifa. Antifa Stan, I like that one too. It's either Soyatl or Antifa Stan for me. But
Wokadishu was good.
Yeah, that's a good one too. There's been a lot of really good ones. But I mean, what was that like over there?
Yeah, my team was up there. My team was up there for a week, and we. This is why they're not. This is why they're not covering it. Is that Antifa Stan shows exactly what the left wants. The future that they want, the defund the police, the failures of this like little mini state inside of Seattle, and what's going on there is precisely what you get when you enact their policies. And so they can't show you.
Well, it's embarrassing, right?
It's embarrassing. So we showed them. We made a tourism video about what it's like to go to Chaz. And they don't like being called Chaz. They think that was a branding error. And so I call them Chaz as many times as I possibly can. You can see what's actually going on inside of Chaz. And there are, I mean,
they prefer chop. Is that what they prefer?
Terrific. Yeah, they like chop.
Chop.
I like chops. I'm not going to give them the decency of calling them by the name that they wish. I still have free speech, due process, and rights.
Your civil pronouns don't mean anything to me.
That's correct. Yes, that's correct. I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not going to I'm going to purposely misidentify Chaz. And I mean, it was really. I mean, listen, it was like it was disgusting, and people were doing drugs in the streets. People were defecating in the streets. It was like It was like a completely vandalized, disgusting, free for all leftist orgy of imbeciles and warlords. And the first thing that they do is create extremely strong borders, put up walls, and then arm men to guard them, which is just such irony. I mean, we could have made a meme of that, right?
No.
You like would have. It sounds like a South Park episode, right?
Again, I was frozen. I was frozen in my tracks watching that. I was just like, I don't know that I can outdo this. I made one thing about Antifa, I think, in the last like month or so, and that was that he comes home and he takes off all of the pretend like muscles and stuff and sits down and starts playing. But I don't know. I couldn't think of anything that was any funnier than watching these tiny little stick people go make this wall. And then watch them build their little garden, and then they're like, and then the guy, I did do that. I put the lightsabers on the garden guy. but other than that, I was just like, I should just broadcast the live stream. I mean, the live stream it's better than Saturday Night Live, watching them run around and like, no, you're the one with the privilege. You're the one, but and then like, but I'm gay, and then like, yeah, but I've got an eating disorder. I've got you.
Yeah, got him.
Like now that's something I want to see would be if they have like a grievance list where they prioritize the society. That's something I think that Chaz is missing. Like maybe just do a full mural of, here's your flow chart of victimhood and where you stand in society.
Yep. Well, I would not be immigrating to Chaz.
No,
because I have a feeling that straight white male is absolutely the bottom of that list. Very, very much the bottom.
I think you're furniture level at that point.
Yes,
you're
correct.
just human furniture. Which I'm sure that will be the next thing. The next thing is the kneeling wasn't good enough, so now it's you must be furniture.
A chair. Chair.
The Chaz chairs.
Yes, the chop chair.
No. No chops. But what's coming up new for you? I mean, you're still doing the TPUSA stuff, but you have anything sort of on the horizon that's exciting?
Yeah. So we have a episode coming out. Actually, where I asked the citizens of Chaz about their strong border walls, and why they love guns so much. That's coming out probably during this show. Actually,
all right,
published during this show. And it's too bad more people don't know about Chaz. I mean, I will say, if a bunch of right-wing people took over 6 city blocks in a large metropolitan area. Right. Let's say like a state where that could happen, like,
right.
Like Chicago or Dallas. I have a feeling that would be like the biggest item of news in the country, like far and
of the decade, probably.
Yeah.
Of the decade.
Yes. Yes.
They would be making TV movies about it as it was happening.
Yes, correct. Yes, correct. Did you watch Waco? Did you see the Waco?
I haven't watched it because people keep saying things like, "Oh, it's so good," and I just, as soon as somebody says that, I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, well, I'll watch it eventually." But
you're so counterculture, Carpe.
Am I? I watched Tiger King, so
Oh.
I mean, I watched Tiger King, so I did that thing, but
They
I
should
don't
make-
know.
They should make a Meme King documentary on you, and you could be.
So HBO, I think it was Vice. Vice is owned by HBO.
Correct. Yes.
They wanted to do a follow me thing, like back in January, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Please don't do that.
That's an Admiral Akbar. It's a trap.
Yeah, that was like the guy was being super nice, and he's like, "Oh, no, we'll be nice to you." And I was like, "Yeah."
Always really nice. Yeah. They're always really nice.
Should I grow out my mustache and start wearing, like, doing no shirt and walking around like a Tiger King, because that's what it's gonna be eventually.
You could. I'm not sure I would recommend it.
No,
because
no, I don't think so.
Tiger King doesn't end well for Joe Exotic. I think he's still in prison.
Yeah. But he's gonna be
and-
so famous when he gets out.
Right, but that's going to be in a couple decades.
Yeah.
And then Tiger King will certainly be illegal and will have been banned by our government. Our right think police will have banned probably the vast majority of Netflix. My wife and I are rewatching just because this news is like the news cycle is so intense and it like hurts your brain. It's like a searing brand into your brain every day for the people following it. And so my wife and I we leave about 6 o'clock. We sort of leave the news cycle, and we give our brains a rest from the searing hot iron. And we go upstairs and we watch The Office. We're watching through The Office right now.
Right.
And I'm watching a season of The Office that was made just maybe a decade ago, I think, if I'm getting my timeline right.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Ago. Oh my God, the jokes. They're hilarious. But the stuff that Steve Carell says in The Office, the jokes that Michael Scott tells could not be written today.
No, they couldn't.
Incredible how quickly the Overton window and the cultural Marxism has like squashed all fun and joy and love and like happiness and like good jokes and hilarity for the sake of hilarity, because Steve Carell's character is like the out of touch 40-year-old white businessman who's overcompensating but doesn't realize that he's offending everyone.
Right.
And that's funny. I mean, it's funny. It reflects reality. It's something we can all, like enjoy and appreciate and engage with. And Steve Carell regularly reminds me of my father, like almost virtually every episode. And like wait till they come for The Office. I mean, they're gonna come.
It's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be like a slaughter.
Yep.
Like they pulled one episode of something. I forget what the show was. It was like a week ago or something. They pulled one episode. They're gonna pull like 3 seasons.
Oh, totally.
If not more.
Stop. They'll never stop.
No, they won't. And it's funny. I think it's sort of like a black hole. The closer you get to it, the faster you go. And that's. I mean, the last 3 years has been just we've gone from. I don't think South Park can even really do much right now. Like they haven't had a season for like almost more than a year, it seems like. Yeah. But like I don't know how they're going to survive in 2020 because the cancel culture is so bad. But we had basically, I'd say 2016 we were on a decent path with you could say pretty much any joke you wanted to and maybe not get canceled. Somebody might go no. But they weren't going to get you fired from your job. And then since then, we've just gone into hyperspace.
Yes.
And now you can't. This was the craziest story from last week was the person who got fired because their wife made a post on Facebook. Some guy I think it was a soccer player or something. Did you see that?
Yep.
Yeah. Like we're to the point where it's not even it's like 1 degree of separation now and you can get fired. Yeah.
Well, again, cultural Marxism. Like, you go back and you read the Communist Manifesto. I have a couple times actually over the last year. We're doing a documentary on it because you want to talk about something that really came true. Karl Marx is really coming true right now. South Park, all South Park really had to do is kind of just look into Marx and realize what's going to happen. Communist Manifesto talks about it really plainly. It says all you have to do is create 2 classes, just lump them together. And these classes don't really have to be defined by anything. You just have to say you're part of one, right? The business owners and the workers, all right? The proletariat and the bourgeois. Like, you just have to say you're part of these classes, and then you have to go to war. Like, identitarian politics. Make the identities fight. And then make sure that you're on the worker side, the people side, the just side, right? And then you do ritual humiliation. You kill your enemies. Like Karl Marx loved violence. He encouraged it. And Lenin took that, of course, to the natural extreme in just hanging rich people all throughout Russia during his civil war. He just hung them. Why are they hanging them? Did they commit a crime? No, their crime was being rich. Their crime was just being a part of an identity that you want to publicly humiliate and persecute. And so when the LA Galaxy star gets fired, it's a soccer player. When he gets fired for the comments of his wife, what you're doing is public humiliation.
Right.
You're doing like classic Marx. You're hanging the rich people very high. This is Lenin's words. Hang them very high so people can see them.
Yeah.
So that
visibility.
So that you humiliate them. And they want this. This is what they want. They're driving for it. They're hungry for it. They want to humiliate and push everyone into little pockets, and then you dehumanize them and you break them down. And that's what's happening. I mean, it's happening before our very eyes. Cultural Marxism before our very eyes. It's horrifying.
Well, and you know, when are Republicans, or I don't even know what to call us anymore. I mean, like, but when are we going to learn that the mob will never give in? Like they'll never be appeased. Like that guy, you know, he apologized for what his wife said, and then they fired him anyway. And they're like, "Oh, we did such a good job. We got the bad guy." You know, like he apologized. Like I think the perfect thing, or the perfect meme for that, was those two college bros that were giving the thumbs up to the protesters walking by, and they get their windows smashed out, and they're like, "But we're on your side. We're on your side, guys. Stop.
Okay, all right, Kyle. Sure, Chad."
I mean, I think that sums up just how dumb people are about the mob now. Is like, as your house is burning down, they're like, "Well, I'm sorry you guys had to burn down my house," and they're like, "There you go. This is what you wanted." But
I mean that like, we're on your side. Like, you don't understand. There is no side. The side is to destroy everything you know. You're not thinking. Your head's not in the right headspace. You have to get your head in the right headspace. This is about destroying everything you know, and you are a thing that we know. So we'll destroy you. It's all about that's cultural Marxism. Rip down the imagery of revolutionary Russia, right? It was illegal to post images of pre-revolution Russia, so people wouldn't remember what life was like under the Tsar. I'm not saying life was great under the Czar.
Right.
It's just
it was just different.
They don't want people to remember it.
Right.
Like, it was illegal to use these images. They were only made legal for a specific period of time during Stalingrad, when Stalin, like, while the city was being besieged, Stalin was it was amazing. It's actually fascinating. Stalin used patriotic images of the Russian revolutions throughout history in Tsarist Russia during Stalingrad in order to inspire people to fight, because that was it. I mean, right? Like, so Stalingrad was like the end of the Soviet Union. They get that. They get the river. They go right. The river goes right through Moscow. They just charge straight up through Moscow and split the country in two. It's done.
Right.
And so Stalin, in his most desperate hour, decides, my special tool is going to be pictures of a patriotic and proud Russia. I am going to open the vaults and let people see that they come from a patriotic and proud lineage to inspire them. That shows how powerful this kind of stuff is. It shows how powerful, like, respecting the American flag, images of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, our monuments, our country. It's very hard to rip apart a people who are proud of their nation, the nation they've all built together, regardless of their skin color or background. It's really hard to do that. That's why it was an actual weapon that Stalin used when he was in his most desperate hour on the Russian. It was a weapon to, like, galvanize them. It's incredible.
Well, and that makes in complete sense then why the left wants to tear all those things down, because that really is the last defense against just going full socialist, is, you know, the things that we do, the showing patriotism and the showing I mean, even the video yesterday was showing how America is not the place that you're shown on TV. And you know, before I let you go, I want to go head back to that first sort of thing we talked about, was that America really isn't that bad place. Like, you know, 99% of the people that are out there are people doing their jobs, people going to work, people going to a bar, people going to a restaurant. It's not this constant battle between races and religions and all that stuff.
Yes.
And that is why that's one of the reasons I do what I do, is that I want to show the world that's what I see. I'm a normal guy from the middle. I'm in the middle of Kansas here with a green screen, and I've got a camera here and a couple lights. But, when I walk out my door, I don't walk out into New York City or DC. I walk out into Kansas City, place where I'm 10 minutes away from a cornfield. So, the people that I see is not what CNN wants to show.
They're trying to lie to you about your country, and it's empirical. All you have to do is look outside and realize that it's a lie. But this is Orwell, right? Like, what is coming from the box? Like, what is the messages being received? And it's a great battle. That's our great battle. The great battle is, what is reality? And when they ban our memes and when they deplatform people, they're trying to limit the scope. They're trying to move the Overton window into their reality, where the only reality is what they say. America's a systemically racist country.
What does that even mean? Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. I'm from Iowa. I was raised in Iowa, right above you in Kansas, right?
I'm from Iowa as well, so that's another thing. I'm from Ames. I was born and raised in Ames. Yeah.
Oh my God, you didn't go to Iowa State, did you?
No, I left. I left probably 15 years ago now. After I graduated, I left. But I born and raised in Ames.
Dude, Ames, man, the machine shed.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was raised in Cedar Rapids. I wasn't born there, but I was raised in Cedar Rapids. Went to the University of Iowa. You get raised in a place like that, and you realize what they say about America is literally, legitimately psychological warfare. It's evil. Gun owners are not frothing at the mouth Nazis who want to, who want to go and murder entire communities. This is evil. This is not true. Right. I grow up around gun owners. Same thing about farmers. Same thing about Republicans. Same thing about just normal, straight white males who want to provide for their family. Same thing about, quite frankly, any human being of color, of any color, living in America who just wants, damn it, to provide for their family. Yeah. I now live in a majority minority neighborhood in Washington, D.C. Okay? I am absolutely the minority in my neighborhood. Guess what people want in my neighborhood? To be left alone.
Yeah.
To be treated as a normal human being. To have their shot at the American dream. To get a job. To go to work. To live, damn it. To just live and be unencumbered and unharassed by the torment of our establishment corporate media, who wishes to tear this country asunder. And so
the real thing that Republicans want is just to be left alone. 100% agree. I mean,
not Republicans, all Americans.
Well, all Americans, yeah, all Americans that are not of that crazy little
most Americans,
non-Chaz.
Can you think of a thing worse than controlling another human? I mean this. Think about this. I don't want to control your thoughts. I couldn't imagine something worse than controlling another human being's thoughts and actions.
Right.
That is hateful to me. But
and it's a lot of work too.
Yeah. You're a father, right?
All right. Yeah.
I'm going to be a father in the coming month. I will become a father. Thank you. I'm very excited about this. My wife and I. These are challenges, but that is a special individual human being that God created that I get a chance to raise, and I'm going to do my best at it. But it's not there's an entire different type of person in our country who wants to control your actions and wants to control what you do forever, and wants to tell you how to think and how to live. Well, and that's the war.
I think it comes from a deep sense of something missing. Yeah. A deep sense of I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but there's something missing in their life, and they fill it with telling you what to do. I mean, I think by far one of the funniest things in the last couple of months has been the Karen stuff that has just gone crazy. Like that,
Yes.
even my mom is, she's a funny person, but she's older and she gets it. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, have you seen these Karen things? These things are so funny. Like it's.
Do you know that K file at CNN? That stands for Karen file.
I do now. It makes sense.
I just, since they tried to dox you multiple times, I thought you might as well know that.
Oh, they are gonna have to get in line. But yeah, I don't know.
You're right. It's an emptiness inside. It's an emptiness inside. It's a godlessness. It's an emptiness, and in the absence of God, and in the absence of knowing that there's something bigger than this world, you try to create utopia on this world. You try to create the perfect system on this world, and it generally puts you into the Marxist category, where you must control. So people are free to do whatever they want. That can't work. That's not a perfect world.
Right.
I have to control to make sure that the bad people don't do the bad things. And so that now I have to be the person who's in complete control. And that's cultural Marxism. It's about control, and it's about power. Power and control. That's it. That's it. And so the challenge is not Republican, Democrat. It's not black, white. It's not anything other than free men and women versus the tyrants, the authoritarians. And it gives you great comfort to realize that has been the challenge throughout the course of history.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's always been the challenge is the tyrants versus the people that just want to be free.
Yep.
Well, Benny, I thank you very, very much for coming on. I think everybody knows where to find you, but you can put up your or say your ats and your W's and all of those things as well. Where can we find you and follow you?
Benny Johnson on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And I'll be starting a Parler very soon. And so I will see you, Carpe, in the meme wars.
All right, man. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye. So I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to take just probably about 15 minutes here, and then I'll be back with John Cardillo, and we'll talk some more about just various things. But one of the things we will talk about is the situation down in Atlanta and what's going on with that, and more about just the crap that's going on in this country. So anyway, thank you guys. Like I said, I will be back in 20-30 minutes. So if you guys want to join me then, do so. Oh, and by the way, Mom, I didn't mean to say that you were older. You're very, very young. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.
Welcome to Carpe's Corner, so happy that you're here. So take a seat, have a tea, or grab yourself a beer. Here at Carpe's Corner, we'll learn about our lives. And in between, you might decide to exercise your rights. It's Carpe's Corner. Carpe's Corner. Don't forget reviews. Comment, like, and subscribe is all you gotta do. Here at Carpe's Corner, please appreciate our guests. And just remember, everyone's got something on their chest. In